Hey guys, Oro here, and I wanted to talk about my very first Armored Core 6 PvP impressions after having played for about an hour in this recent showcase, which I hope you guys enjoyed. PvP is much better than I actually expected. I thought it was going to be a total mess, super imbalanced. It turns out it's a lot more skill-based than I had previously assumed, and let me get into that. So a lot of people are sort of focusing on me and Cowboy's 1v1, where I totally got rolled and I played really bad. But we're going to get into that later, and I want to address a few things. Number one, in this entire showcase, we were limited to using only Chapter 1 parts. So this is the equivalent to playing Souls PvP at like level 10. It doesn't mean anything. You know, the whole game is going to be totally different when everyone gets access to the parts and you see people's builds evolve and become stronger and better. So that was the big thing that I think a lot of people missed, is that this is a small sample size of early game PvP that you're really not going to see anywhere but here. But regardless, a lot of people are saying that hard lock on is OP and it needs to be nerfed, and it's a DPS race. You know, you just stack AP, put on dual gats and hard lock and win the game. So that's a really good strategy that I still don't know how to counter, but that's not the case. Hard lock on is really only good at close ranges. Shotguns, dual gats, melee are going to be the way to go for hard lock on. At any other range, you have massively reduced accuracy. Your shots are going to land maybe even less than half the time if you're manually aiming, which is preferred. The more skillful players will be manually aiming, landing more of their shots, and not relying so much on this hard lock-on. That there is a massive detriment to anything but close range. So I did want to address that. The accuracy debuff is real. And another thing that people are going on about is that tanks are really overpowered. We did use a lot of tanks. We pulled out the meme build. I saw you guys said the the triple tank god squad that won us a few games with the dual gats and grenade launcher cheese. It was hilarious. It was so much fun. Tanks are very strong, but they're not as strong as people think. Again, later on in the game, there's a lot of parts that unlock that are going to change the game and probably give tanks a much harder time to close that gap between like a lightweight, for example. So I think the real issue, just based off my limited playtime with the game, is that quadrupeds are going to be actually way stronger than bipeds, reverse joins, and tanks combined. Quadrupeds seem really, really oppressive in PvP. We'll see. That's just my opinion, and my prediction from having played. But I think that's what people really need to be complaining about, not tanks. I think tanks are actually probably going to get rolled at the higher level PvP, but we'll see. We shall see. What I'm trying to say in general is that it's just way too early to tell. It's way too early to tell if quads are going to be OP, if tanks are going to be OP, if anything's going to be overpowered, because this is a very limited space and very limited time for both of us. That was like my first 1v1 match, so I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Even after playing all the 3v3s, it was totally different. But I had an absolute blast, and I think that's what matters. Like, I was really enjoying it, and I think with more time, I would have done much better. And you know, I will when the full game comes out. I'm really excited to run that back with Cowboy and see how we do with the full game parts. The salty run back's gonna be real, boys. But you know, I love Cowboy. He's a great friend of mine. We had an absolute blast playing. I think he enjoyed the game as much as I did too. We were both pleasantly surprised at how fun the PvP is. The biggest concern to me about PvP is the total lack of matchmaking, which is a big note that couldn't really talk about, and I'm really sad about it. The menu is just create lobby, join lobby, search, very classic, very old school. And that's fine. It does work. And it's weird that the PvP feels so good. Like the netcode felt perfect. And I don't know if that's going to be the case for the full game, because obviously we're playing from the same room. But it was still connected to the servers. We were still playing online multiplayer. It wasn't LAN. But regardless, it's not indicative of the full game's netcode. We really don't know how that's going to play out. But it felt really, really, really good, man. No lag at all during that limited play test of ours. Oh, man. And to talk about the 1v1 a little more, I think that I was never going to win that, regardless of how good I played. Because, again, we were very limited to the Chapter 1 parts. The linear rifles I were using were particularly bad, and I think if I had better ones, I might have stood a chance. However, I played poorly, and I missed my whiff punish. That was the big one, and I let Cowboy get in range, because honestly, I didn't know how to kite people assault armoring at me. I still don't know how to deal with that, if we're being honest. It's a lot harder than it looks. People are saying, oh, look at this noob, like, pressing buttons. I haven't played Armored Core in 10 years. And what I did play, Armored Core 4 and 5, I was like one of the top players in Armored Core 5. I was really good, but this is a totally different game. And again, it's been 10 years. Like, I'm still learning. So time will tell. Time will tell all these things. The TLDR is that it's just way too early to judge, guys. This game isn't even out yet. We don't know how it's going to play out. People are jumping to crazy conclusions about the meta and stuff, and I think people need to give it some time and see how it plays, because I think there's number one, I think there's massive potential here, and number two, I think that if there are major balance issues, they have regulation patches. They confirmed them. You can see them in the opening screen. They are going to patch the game. They are going to try their best to balance it out. So if hard locking, dual gat tank meta is a real thing, they'll nerf it. They'll tone it down, and I think we're actually going to have a really fun PvP experience with the game. I hope they patch in matchmaking. I think that is actually my biggest concern, is being able to play the game consistently, and for people not wanting to like take the time to search for rooms and invite their friends and get people in. You know, it can be a bit of a pain without matchmaking. So that is my real true concern with the game and the PvP. But I think it was a lot of fun. Again, I really enjoyed my time. GG's to everyone involved. Cowboy, especially with that 1v1. That was hype as fuck. I loved it. But yeah, I'm really excited for the full game, and I hope you guys are too. I'm excited to dive into some more PvP. I will be posting my very first playthrough up on the channel exactly on the 24th at 5 p.m. Central Time. So look forward to that. It's going to be good. And of course, some more PvP action for you guys as soon as I dive in, you know. So again, final note, give it some time. Give it some time, and I think this PvP is going to turn into something great, if it's not already. And it is, I promise, a lot of fun. I will talk to you guys really soon. Thank you again so much for watching and listening to my Armored Core 6 PvP thoughts. And be sure to subscribe to the channel for more. Armored Core 6 coming real soon. Have a good one, guys. Peace.